Hey everyone, welcome back to CryptoCache. Thank you so much for joining me here. Hope you're having a great day. Quick look here again at Bitcoin, double checking some important stuff. Wow, what a bloodbath yesterday, huh? It still is actually. Honestly, the market doesn't look like it wants to respond. Bitcoin dominance is still increasing here. This is just bad news for altcoins. So again, if you saw my TikTok or YouTube shorts, the idea was to basically just take it easy, relax, and not trade. Honestly, that's basically what I do in these situations, so it might be advantageous for you to consider that. I know you're probably trying to figure out, hey, which direction are they going to go so you can take a trade. I get that, but weekends are funky, and sometimes it's best just to avoid trading in some cases. So we're going to go ahead and adjust our ABC pattern here and just consider the fact that the price could and should likely continue lower. We're seeing this. We're also seeing somewhat of a head and shoulders pattern too here. So keep in mind we could very well be starting something along those lines too. Okay, this is just, it's a stretch, but again, all patterns inevitably play out depending on how the price action works. It either happens or it doesn't, right? Anyways, thanks so much for watching. I hope you can learn something today if you do want to become a better trader. CryptoCache.tech is the site, link down below. We got a lot of new traders coming over yesterday. I want to just say welcome aboard. Make sure you read through my signals guide before you take any trades, and just know that good risk tolerance is important. We did trigger a couple of stop losses yesterday on some longs, but we also got averaged into some nice positions too with a few others. So happy about that. Some older shorts also from last week came through, so it's actually not the worst thing ever. We kind of offset everything, but man, that was a pretty aggressive drop yesterday. And the crazy thing is, there's only 4% for Bitcoin roughly from top to bottom in like 4 hours. But the entire crypto market just belly flopped. Like altcoins literally dropped 10 to 20% average. It was insane. Anyways, my heart goes out to anybody who got destroyed with any high leverage or even medium to low leverage. Honestly, again, we had low leverage trades and 2 of them hit their stop loss. So that happens, folks. Okay, so we can see some late longs here at about 68,350. That's pretty common. Both directions tend to do that when you have strong dips like this. So again, if you're in profit right now from a long you took in the 68K range, maybe consider adjusting your stop loss higher just to be on the safe side so you secure profit. There's really nothing wrong with that. But if you look here, we can kind of just see that there's not a tremendous amount of recent longs. Some at 66,000, those are lower leverage longs, which is safer. I like that better because 67,000 should hold, again, pending any more nonsensical stuff that we see in the market. So yesterday was just a weird day, especially with all that weird GameStop stuff this week too. I know it doesn't seem like it's okay, it's not crypto, but it kind of factors into, you'd be surprised. Anyways, let's take a quick look at the 1 month and just clarify a couple things here too. We can see that now that we've come back down after sweeping that level of liquidity at 72,000 even, we can see that there is still some liquidation left down below. Roughly 67,000 down as low as 65K. That's been pre-existing. We've talked about that for a few weeks now. And of course, some other very low leverage longs here down below, around 55 to 60K. So just keep in mind there's plenty of liquidation on the downside as well as the upside. So we're kind of in the middle of that, implying that it's hard to anticipate which direction it's going to go just yet. And in fact, when you see a price action respond like this, just say you're trading altcoins, for example, the only altcoins you really want to touch or trade are the ones that recovered quickly. In other words, they're almost back to break even. The majority of them didn't do that, so keep in mind it's probably best just to avoid altogether. But when we look at this here, we can see somewhat of a pattern where the price action looks like it wants to break out, but it's also pretty dangerous when it comes down that hard. The likelihood of the bottom dropping out again is pretty high. So me personally, I would just recommend avoiding a trade, a Bitcoin trade specifically this weekend. Probably recommend the same thing for altcoins too. Honestly, it's just not ideal trading conditions. Me, when I see this happen, I just kind of I grab my popcorn, I sit on the sidelines and just watch the madness. It gets kind of crazy and absolutely nonsensical. But let's take a look at this here. Most recent range is since what, the 15th of May? Roughly since we've been in this range of 66 to 72K. We can see here roughly about 65,900 as that point of control. So we're kind of right in that range here for the most recent 1 month's worth of trading, roughly. And we can kind of understand here that this is a support range. We haven't lost the support yet. We can also understand too, this ascending trend line based on 20-day SMA and just a handful of other factors is holding strong. I know it seems weird, but yeah, we're still honoring an ascending trend. We haven't broken below 50 in the RSI. Stochastic, while it's swinging down, makes perfect sense that we kind of expected the price to pull back. In fact, for the last 3 or 4 days, I've been wanting the price to pull back to the 69,000 range. I just kind of didn't want it to do exactly what it did now, because it's one of those weird ones where everything hit the reset button. Every single level of liquidation got destroyed. There was so many destroyed accounts yesterday. I can only imagine. And it's all because just greed, pure and simple. That's all it is to it. But having said all that, we can see this shift in momentum, right? And these are things we've kind of identified already, but generally speaking, there's no indication that the price action is going to drop any further, but also it's not looking super great either, right? So we're in this weird transition, generally best to steer clear, but I would still lean towards the price action moving up from here, because that was a big old rinse and repeat. A lot of times that happens just before big moves happen, okay? Again, that was a minor correction from Bitcoin to warrant a massive drop from altcoins. So it's just kind of weird and funny the way that it works out, but either way, let's go ahead and move on here. 4-hour time frame, we're above all moving averages 2 minus the 20. 20 SMA is not a huge deal breaker, but generally speaking, staying over the 50 is good. So hypothetically, we close 69,600 or higher today, we should be in solid shape to continue to see that. Once more, it's a weekend. Look at that volume. It's pretty low. Not much can be really done here. If we do take a look at RSI, we can see we're under 50, of course, so we lost that. Stochastic trying to swing up there, money flow low, and MACD is trying to converge but hasn't fully yet. Okay, so not the greatest situation here overall. Honestly, this is, it's again, if it wasn't for that massive dump, this would be just like another day in the walk in the park. Not like this is any different, really. Manipulation happens all the time, but simply put, we haven't broken below any specific key levels yet. And we gotta understand that that's still okay. However, look at this here. The hourly, I can almost guarantee we're below the cloud, which we are. Lag and span soon intersect with the price action. So if you haven't taken any profits from a short, you may want to consider doing so. That's what that's telling us. Same thing here with the conversion line being below the baseline. Tells us we still have good momentum to the downside, and that I wouldn't be surprised if the price continues to pull back. Again, this weekend maybe not, but come Monday, it wouldn't be a shocker to see the price wick down to 67K and just destroy a lot more longs that just literally took positions here over the weekend. So again, all the more reason to kind of just pump the brakes on the weekends. Personally, that's just me, but we've got the hourly diverging, 4-hour kind of saying we're neutral, still in good shape. Daily time frame still says bullish, which is unique, but still kind of confirming that we haven't lost our trend lines. So there's a lot of reasons here as to why it's too premature to try to short down to zero. Again, I say that loosely because people seem to think that the price is going to go down that low. Again, 67,000 is the key level support for us. We come down to that range. That would make sense with our ABC pattern here. Kind of just hitting that previous support level. And just note that we've tried to break through 72,000. 4 times so far this year, if I'm not mistaken. And the more often you test something, the more likely it is to break. So larger time frames are telling us that we're still in pretty damn good shape. Okay, so again, I think that we're not too bad here. So if you're going to take some longs, just take them carefully. Low leverage for sure, because again, a 10x correction on low leverage can still get close to liquidation depending on how you trade, right? So keep your use your risk tolerance and make sure it works best for you and how you feel. If you're following my signals, my risk tolerance is way different than yours, so just recognize that it is what it is, and everyone has their own. Okay, just learn to develop that over time. It takes time. Nobody can tell you what that is. All right. I hope you learned something today. Thank you so much for watching. I hope you have a good rest of your weekend. Deeply appreciate the comment below if you get a chance. Join us on Twitter, Telegram, Discord, YouTube, TikTok, every single platform available for you. Pick the best one that works for you. Last but not least, we are offering it's like a promo through Bitunix. Phenomenal option here. It's a nice little deposit reward. So I would definitely recommend, I'll pull that up later. Oh, here it is. Okay, perfect. Yeah, just so you know, nice deposit bonus if you use my link to register. We got quite a few hundred people that are trading with me under this exchange. So if you had to use my link, just go ahead and make sure you take advantage of that. It's all down below. All right, thanks again. We'll see you in the next one. Take care.